Hey, what's up guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. In this video, we're going to take a look at what appears to be the beginnings of yet another global dust storm. It's occupying pretty much all of the northern hemisphere right now. Here's a look at one of the large plumes making the 4,000-mile journey, and it's beginning early this year as it's only May, and typically this doesn't seem to kick into high gear until June when the sun reaches its highest peak up in the Sahara Desert where the sand originates from. We're going to take a look at what I think is causing this large dust storm you're about to see here in a minute. Saw some activity over at the SOHO LASCO C3 and LASCO C2 instruments that monitor the sun. You can see a fairly large sun-diving comet taking the big plunge. This is the LASCO C3. As it disappears behind that blue disk, that's where LASCO C2 observes right here. And you can see a pretty good sized comet goes in, takes the plunge, comes back out in the form of small molecules via the solar wind, and more than likely the dust from that comet is already on its way back towards planet Earth courtesy of the mighty solar wind. Hopping over here to the website, checking out the Schumann resonance, you can see a little bit of activity in the Schumann. Background noise, at best, no big spikes, not too much going on. That's going to change as we've got a inbound CME, you can see here at the Space Weather Prediction Center. Very slow moving. This thing here is probably one of the slowest I think I've seen. Should arrive sometime the 12th or the 13th. More than likely it's going to be on the 13th, as slow as this thing's moving. But we do have some action in the northeastern part of the sun, right up here. A very active region that's turning towards the Earth. So expect an increase in the overall geomagnetic activity surrounding planet Earth. Hopping over to the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera, looking at the seismographs that monitor the mighty supervolcano. These two are pretty quiet for the time being. This is the way they've been for the last 3, maybe 4 weeks. Got a little bit of activity across the northern rim. Small earthquake activity as well. Got some action over here in the southeastern quadrant. Nothing major. I would expect a little bit of activity out of a supervolcano anyhow, but the small earthquakes continue at the mighty supervolcano. I want to show you guys now the sun, or at least the position of the sun, as we continue towards the summer solstice on June 21st of 2021. The sun will reach a peak of 23.5 degrees north, way up in here, and that coincidentally is exactly where the Sahara Desert sits. Go over here to Google Earth, find the Sahara, and that is right at the 23.5 degree north, and that's where the sun will peak this summer in the northern hemisphere. Here's the thing, when the sun gets up in this area, it tends to stir up the dust, makes that journey across the Atlantic Ocean like I showed you guys earlier, but it's typically not until the month of June. Sometimes it will linger into July and into August. If we look over here at nullschool.net, and you can see that drag line across the transatlantic is consistent with the position of the sun right now as I do this video, almost exactly. See that bright spot right there? Coincidentally, so is this giant sand plume that's being drug out of the Sahara. And as you can see, it occupies a big portion, if not most, of the northern hemisphere over through Asia. Got a strong plume up here north of India in far western Asia, and that is extending to the east. In fact, this entire area has a large dust cloud over it, and I mean it expands for a few thousand miles. This should all be blue, just so you know. This color of blue right here, that's no dust. Everything else that you see, the light tan, the green, implies some degree of dust, and it is sweeping the entire northern hemisphere. And again, it's only May, it's just starting. Typically, I associate this with hurricane season because this does kind of put a lid on the atmosphere, and it is beneficial in that way because it does impede the formation of hurricanes through here. Not completely, not 100%, but it does interfere with the formation of hurricanes. So typically, you don't see this until about June, maybe July. Hurricane season starts in June in the northern hemisphere. It's only May, and this is already extended over 4,000 miles, and it's not just limited to the Caribbean. That's just some of the thickest dust. Parts of northern South America, and again, the light green is covering the entire northern hemisphere. So once again, very large dust storm being stirred up already, and we're not even at summer solstice yet. We've got another entire month and a half to go. So stay tuned. We'll see how it affects the hurricane season that has in the past had an impact on the formation of hurricanes. Also in this video, I've got a brand new picture slideshow, new sky phenomena photos sent in from all around the world. Rory out of Devore, California. Notice what looked like a big wedge up in the sky. Here it is in an enhanced format, and it definitely looks like some sort of maybe a boomerang. I don't know. Good observation, though, by Rory out of California. Tina out of Parrish, Alabama. Spectacular sky, big intense double-decker rainbow. Here's some more photos of the double-decker rainbow. And then this one right here, she was very close to a rainbow shaft, probably within, looks like maybe a couple hundred yards of that intense rainbow shaft. And here's the storm clouds that brought some severe weather to Alabama just a few days ago. Scott out of Plant City, Florida. Beautiful golden sunset. And then the sky got really wonky. Look at these clouds, would you? It looks like a thick cobweb up in the sky. There's just super weird wavy clouds. I would have been taking pictures of those too. Ramona out of Arizona. Beautiful sunset from Arizona. Then a weird cloud here that almost looked like a wedge or a triangle craft of its own. Kim out of West Virginia. Notice what looked like a big pyramid just parked in the sky above West Virginia. Awesome photo here sent in by Owen out of England of a very intense, towering double-decker rainbow. Video footage here sent in by Curtis S. from right out here in Arizona in the desert southwest of a bright red sunset there reflecting off of the lake from out here in Arizona. Also had some sightings of the Starlink here recently. Brandon out of Minnesota. Noticed the 60 Link train soaring through the sky not long after the rocket launch. There's an observation from Minnesota. Also spotted by Angie G over Vancouver. That is the Starlink satellite train. I think there's 60 satellites there. Tania out of Perrysburg, Ohio. Got a very ominous looking sky here. Roll clouds or gravity waves. Tony out of Michigan. Notice what it looked like, a big square just sitting up here in the sky all by itself. Photo here sent in by Lynn out of Ocala, Florida. That would be rocket residue from one of the recent rocket launches that we've seen in the last 4, maybe 5 weeks. Great job, guys. Keep the photos coming. If you have any photos you'd like to share, you can send those to reports at MrMBB333.com. All of the photos end up here at the Sky Phenomena Photo Gallery at the website, and sometimes I'll use them in a video just like you saw right here. Thanks for watching. Have a super day, and be safe out there.